Okay. So we're gonna wait for another 1 more minute, or we can start. I think we can start, right? I think I've given you enough time, guys. You guys are late today. All right. So um, we discussed a multiple set of things, guys, and today I thought probably I'll take you to a different line of thought. Right. Last time we discussed constitution, economics. It's all the hard biting subjects. So I try to sort of think. Okay, before I take you to current affairs and discuss more of the different laws and all of these things, let's take a quick look at with respect to our MBA or what we're going to do at what is in it for us when we speak about marketing, right? And have you already had have a session? Have you already had a session? Okay, my English has gone to the dogs now. Did you guys already have a session on marketing? Yes, no, maybe. Did you guys already have a session on marketing? Okay, you already did a session. Okay, great. Okay, so help me understand what aspects of marketing did you learn? Did you understand? What did you guys discuss in that session? What topics? Four P's. Okay, BCG matrix, four P's of marketing. All right, B2B, B2C, good. STP. So the foundation has been laid, right? Okay. Sound is so. How many of you generally or genuinely like marketing? I mean, you guys have not learned anything. I know you might have seen some glimpses here and there, but if you have seen how marketing and ads are done, creative content writing, video ads, how many of you really like to do all of those things? I like to understand how consumer behaves and then do targeting for them and make them, ensure that they are able to buy these kinds of things. Nobody's interested except Anupam. Joe is interested. Okay. Parth looks interesting. Ronak says yes. Menak says yes. Okay. Ankit. All right, cool. So I'm presuming the others are not very sure of marketing as such, and they're like, hey, you know what? Let's go and see what is happening. Anyways, this guy makes a lot of noise. Let's go and at least listen and see today what is he making noise about, right? All right. So having said that, why I even mentioned this particular class as digital marketing and not marketing, right? While of course the STPs and the four Ps and all that is the traditional sense of marketing, how has it evolved over the years and what is relevant today, right? Why is it important? Because if you're going to take up a marketing specialization, right, you need to be understanding specifically why are you even taking it, right? Sometimes, and the question that you would obviously ask is, sir, then if that is the case, I can just go to the first year of marketing or MBA and learn what is happening. And why are you taking this class to help us understand? Because sometimes the syllabus and the kind of exposure you get in first year or maybe even the second year, to some extent, right, is generally not very current. I won't say it is not relevant. It is relevant, but it is not very current, right? Or the way that we are exposed to much of these things, um, it is not easy to pick it up or understand what the industry is today looking at, right? A lot of you have more access to marketing basis the kind of apps that you're looking at, right? All the ads that you see on it. So yes, basis people or students who studied 10 years ago, you guys have a better head start, right? But however, having said that, there are a lot of things that you can probably miss. So we are going to cover all of that. Okay. And when I speak about digital marketing, guys, please understand anything for that matter, any occupation today has technology involved and has moved into digital sense, right? And that's why most of the people, um, guys, you know what are the common keywords that management graduates abuse or all management leaders abuse? These words are very highly used, misused, and abused in the industry. One of that is strategy. The other one is solution. The other one is people who have worked would always hear this, right? Every leader comes and says, "हम strategy plan करते हैं, हम solutioning करते हैं, ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं." The new word that has been misused or abused is digital transformation. हर कोई बंदा digital transformation leader है without having hardly any clue what the hell he's talking about, right? Either udhar he probably does something randomly about, or he was part of a project where something had to be moved from an offline to online system, and then he says, I am powering digital transformation in banking industry. Well, most of the times it's rubbish, guys. Now, for us to understand, you should please remember that when I discuss marketing today, marketing is already gone digital because there is no non-digital marketing, right? There is no form of marketing which is offline even today. Sales, distribution, everything that you look at today is specifically to do with the digital platform, right? So, like I told you guys, I do two jobs, right? So besides teaching, what I do is I work as a product marketer in a company called as Quicksilver, right? What do we do? We majorly work with brands and with, let's say, big corporates like, let's say, Britannia, right? Yeah, for Munch, Nestle Munch. When you see that Paytm voucher, which is there on the sticker pack saying that if you buy this Munch, you have a chance to win 100 rupees Paytm, or you have a chance to win 100 rupee Amazon Prime, or a 1 month Amazon subscription, right? All of those campaigns are run by us. One line of our business is that, right? That's what Pine Labs and Quicksilver does. So that's one line of their business. The other part where I work as a digital marketing consultant for brands is the part where we try to bring in. So there are two aspects, right? One is the rewards kind of marketing, and the other one is the traditional sense of showing ads to people and getting them to buy or a particular goods or service, or rather, um, asking them to perform an intended action, right? I want somebody to go and visit my blog. I want somebody to go and purchase some goods on Amazon. I want somebody to visit my website. I want somebody to fill in their contact details, all of these things, right? So what are we going to do today? We are going to explore the different aspects I'm going to share with you. I can also show you some live examples of ads that I'm doing for my clients, right? It's okay, it's smaller clients, so they don't have a confidentiality issue, I hope, right? So, okay. So, what I'm going to ask you today is marketing and what can I do with this degree, right? And why am I calling marketing a degree? Because generally, MBA, if you take, शायद वो marketing में, if you take an MBA, it's generally specialized in that one space, right? So I generally tend to think that MBA, while it teaches you a lot of things, whatever specialization you take is the sort of degree that you're going to finally come out with. Like how engineering is not a general degree, but you're studying computer science. Okay. Now, what does marketing mean, right? There's a lot of different aspects, and when we think about just ads being run or content being written, या फिर कोई planning करे कुछ brand campaign, call Deepika Padukone and Shah Rukh Khan to come and wave, and then somebody buys their product. That's not the only aspect, right? A lot and lot of details are going into the part where you plan or you research and find out what works and does not work for your consumer, right? Okay. Having said that, marketing involves things like, one is branding, right? How does your brand name come into being? Why does the logo have to have this particular color, right? It could also mean, hey, if I'm having a website, all the website pages should look alike. All my ads should look the same or have similar colors, right? That is one aspect of marketing, right? There are a lot of people who are called brand managers who do just this for a living, and they make a lot of money because it requires a lot of creative work. At the same time, a lot of understanding of this particular subject called consumer behavior. Guys, if you are great in economics and in consumer behavior, you can become a great marketer. If not, if not just with your creativity, you might become a great copywriter, you might become a great creative designer, but unless you understand consumer behavior and what people are responding to, you generally would not be great in marketing, right? Somehow, and I say this with a lot of pride, that's the only subject that I got an A plus in my MBA, right? Rest everything else was a B and B minus and whatever. Because I think somewhere I'm able to resonate or understand what that subject meant and appreciate its requirement when you do marketing, right? So, like I was coming back to telling you, branding is one aspect of marketing. Another aspect of marketing is pricing, a huge, and a very difficult part of this. How do I price my product? हाँ सर उसमें क्या है just look at your competitor and just price the same this one. No, that's not how you do it, right? There's a lot of detailing into why should I put this particular price? How should I project this price to somebody? Why should I give a discount? When should I give a discount? Right? How much discount should I give? All of these things are by itself very, very important, because when you're doing branding or pricing, please remember, you are affecting business, which means that every decision that you are making with respect to your pricing is going to have a positive effect on the market, or it will have a negative effect. Correct? So the next thing that is there is merchandising, right? Merchandising basically means how much of a particular good should I procure for my market. Pantaloons ka merchandising manager would understand how many t-shirts or how many denims or how many suits should I buy in this season, and what can be sold in Diwali versus what can be sold in um, um, Christmas time versus what can be sold in Pongal, and at what point do I put all of these things back on sale and try to get the maximum sale out of it, right? That is one part. The next thing, like we discussed, brand and offer. The next thing is obviously design, agency, right? Design and agency, obviously, please understand, guys, marketing is great for you. And the core sense of marketing where you execute it via a campaign or an ad makes a lot of sense if you have a creative eye also, right? I'm not saying you have to have it like 100%, but at least 30 to 40% of a creative eye, you need to understand what sort of designs are now running in the market, right? What sort of colors are people responding to? What sort of shapes can be put? What sort of colors has to be done in the background versus what should be the color of the font? All of these things are very, very important. It is not, please understand, guys, just because you're a design person or a creative graphics person or you know Photoshop very well, that will never tell you what customers are responding to. You might be able to get a clear sense of color and everything, right? But what you need to remember is, like I again and again emphasizing, you need to do a lot of research, right? Talk to customers, see ads from different places, different products, similar products to your brand, right? And then be able to say that, hey, this design and this creative or this content will work very well for our particular product, right? And as an addition to that is what you see as advertising or promotions, right? Where you have different medium on which you can promote. Today a lot of digital medium is available, right? A lot of data is used. All of the data that you see, right? I can show you a couple of instances on Facebook how I do an ad for a client, right? So advertising is not just about writing a copy and putting a big billboard in Mumbai or in Chennai next to Ananagar, or maybe let's say our Chennai railway station, right? It's about what appeals to people on the different media on which they are most active. Most of the advertising happens on your Instagram, on your Twitter, on your LinkedIn, basis the kind of product. Sometimes your ads happen on the TV, it happens on specific OTT channels, right? Why would somebody choose Netflix more than Amazon Prime? What kind of events or programs will I use, or which ones will I target so that I can put my ads in them, right? In a YouTube ad, how does a YouTube ad get put? How many seconds ka ad? How do I decide that 5 seconds ke baad I have to press skip? All of these things are done basis the research done on the consumer behavior, right? I hope this part is clear to you. Then you have something called as ATL and BTL marketing. ATL basically means above the line, where you put a generic ad and everybody sees it, like a TV ad, or let's say like a like a like a billboard that is put on top of the a bridge or something. But when you say BTL, which is below the line marketing, it means you're directly, it's like an emailer, an SMS, an FB ad, or a Twitter ad or an Instagram ad, where the ad is shown to you specifically basis your behavior or the kind of person that you are, what we call demographics and psychographics, right? One, where do you belong to? Are you, what gender are you? What age are you? Right? What ethnic background do you have? At the same time, how do you behave in certain conditions? Right? Are you educated? Have you gone to school? Are you known to purchase these kind of products? Pehle? All of these things, right? And obviously, to do ATL and BTL marketing, again, what happens is, please remember, guys, marketing doesn't end when you execute a campaign. That is followed by analysis. How many people saw my ad? Basis that, how many people clicked on the ad? If so many people clicked on the ad, what is the next point of action that they took, right? This is done not just in tech businesses and tech companies, guys. This is done in every single company, including your brick and mortar stores or your offline stores like your Lifestyle, Pantaloons, Shopper Stop, any of these people, right? And obviously, now a very recent thing that has come into marketing is also something called product marketing, right? Or product management. And therefore, once the product is made, you have product marketing, because back in the days, people made a product and then they would just go out to market it. Today, they've understood that the product itself should begin with research, with design, with development, and then market it, right? Otherwise, it will not make sense for the growing consumers. And how do you get them hooked on it, right? So, product management is another thing that has become a very, very important part of marketing. One more thing, guys, a lot of people put product management on their resume. A lot of people put it um, on their profile. But trust me, half of the people are not doing product management. They are just doing the technical part of it, right? In itself, it's a 1 or 2 hour session to take as to what are the important aspects of product management and how a product marketing is done. All right. A simple media business and advertising, all of that you would have understood, which is again in relationship with what we have done, or what we have discussed for marketing, right? Do you guys have any questions as of now? Shakti, at the moment there are no ads for Netflix, but at some time you will soon have. See, because Netflix at some point beyond subscriptions they would want to increase their revenues, right? So some form of an ad or a personalized ad would soon begin. But let's take the example of Prime or maybe Hotstar for the time being, right? Utkarsh, does advertising, is it the same as? No, it's not the same as digital marketing. Advertising or digital. See, digital is just a platform on which marketing is done, right? Today, if you say any platform or any marketing, it is obviously done digitally only, right? Out of the 4 clients that I have in my consulting work that I do, one by itself is a media business saying that, hey, you know what, I am a media space. I want people to subscribe more. Can you help me with my digital marketing strategy, right? There is one fintech company that is there. There is one marketing company by itself that is there. There is another resort in Coorg that is there, right? Which is also something that we do marketing for. So, does advertising come under digital marketing? It comes under marketing, right? And digital is just the platform. So, if you're doing traditional advertising on newspapers, obviously it is not going to be a part of digital marketing, right? That word has to slowly get sunsetted, and it has to come in consensus, or in consensus with marketing itself, because today there is nothing which is happening offline. It is mostly at 99% happening online, right? Any other questions before we move? Can we do digital marketing for anything irrespective of? Yeah, we can do. Yeah, I think I can. I don't know. Yeah, some of the companies are very particular. They'll only take up certain industries and certain products. For me, I will do digital marketing provided your product makes sense to me. Like if a client comes and tells this product and I feel that it's a bullshit product, I'll be like, you know what, sorry, I don't deal in that space. I quietly move out of that, because what happens is if you do marketing for something you don't believe in, and if it doesn't work, you'll keep on blaming yourself, right? So you need to, if you have to realize and understand how the marketing is to be done, you should be able to convince yourself that product is of any use. Correct? So, which is why, yeah, that is. Yeah, I can show you, Shakti. I'll show you if you can remind me towards the end of the session. I will show you. I'm actually in the process of doing one more ad for them this week, but I can show you how we have been doing ads for them. Okay. There is, can SEO, SEM be used as techniques for analysis? Guys, SEO and SEM are not techniques for analysis. SEO is some. I'll discuss SEO with you guys later. SEO and SEM, I can teach you later, but it is not techniques for analysis. Yes, Google Analytics can be used to understand the behavior of people on websites. On websites, it can be used. Any other questions before we move ahead? All the crazy questions that you have about marketing and digital marketing, you can ask, guys. Our job here is to clarify as much as possible and make sure you have a clear understanding of what is there and what is not there with respect to marketing. Okay. So, like I said, because this is a space that I've been working and studying for 9 years, so this is one thing I'm very confident, except economics and the law, right? So you can ask me any questions that you want. Everything else is for me is a secondary knowledge of studying subjects. I don't have practical application knowledge, but yeah, marketing to yaar MBA mein, please ask me. I'm happy to answer any questions. Please type in any sort of questions that you have, and if we can answer them now, we will go, or else we'll go to the next slide. Digital marketing does not require coding here. I mean, if it was there, I would have never been able to do it. I only have a degree in computer science engineering. I have no idea how to code. I mean, I have done some 2 3 programs in my life, right? But uske bina I have not done it. But yeah, execution ke time pe, if you want to make a product by yourself, you have to code it out. But otherwise, no, everything is available today in the form of a UI based product, right? Just drop and paste types, whatever, right? How to increase SEO of a website? We can discuss that. Okay, specifically, guys, how is digital marketing done? That is something that we have to discuss later, right? How is it? How do you increase SEO and all of these things? We'll have to discuss later. But if you have a specific question of what does this mean, what is included, what is not included, all of those subjective knowledge we can cover. It is impossible to explain marketing and how things are done over a session of half an hour or 1 hour. So that we'll have to take separately offline. Okay. All right. So can a person who has no knowledge about coding become? Yeah, man, not a problem. What is coding got to do with digital marketing? Nothing. Okay. So you guys have already discussed this part, right? So what is a very important trend that marketing has seen over the years is content, right? It is very important that you write great content which appeals to people, right? When I was heading digital marketing for South India for Career Launcher, I'll tell you, it's really funny. I'll tell you what worked. Okay, when we had to get admissions for CAT across centers, what I did is I did this campaign, two campaigns, right, which actually worked really well. One was a Facebook, Instagram campaign, which said, "You may have missed an IIT, don't miss an IIM." This I put as an ad for for students of all top colleges in the country, right? So, which means that everybody who did not get through an IIT or who barely made through or went to the NITs or NITs or the other colleges and did not make it through an IIT, all of their ego got hurt. A lot of those people came and registered, right? I'm not sure how many people registered at Ajay Center, but yeah, there were about 30 centers that were there across the South India, and a lot of people had got the registrations, right? Simply because you poke the ego of the person, right? So this is exactly what marketers do. They know where to hit where it hurts, or where to hit when it makes you very, very happy, right? So content is very, very important in terms of what it affects to the customer. Another one that happened is we done this campaign in Tinder, right, for male profiles, where what we did is in Tinder, after every third left swipe, right, after every third left swipe where you basically don't, we wrote an ad saying that an MBA from IIM gets you better matches, right? Join Career Launchers Crash Program. This also worked very well with the students, with the guy students, right? Um, yeah, so content is king, right? So it all depends on how you can instigate people to come and join, right? You just have to live on the insecurities of people, right? All the girls are already laughing, but yeah, girls, you know what, you should reject more people so that we can do more ads to them. The more insecure people are, the more ads will work, right? With all those people who are living minimalistic lives, you can't really do anything because they are like, ah, yaar, chhod de, koi nahi. It's okay if I don't find any girlfriend. मैं कुआरा बन के I will become some monk or something, right? I don't like such kind of people because उनके लिए ads तो नहीं कर सकते हैं ना, right? So same way with girls also, you will know these are the things that they are, they really look forward to, right? Um, so yeah, that's exactly what I think will work. So Did I get into any controversy? Yes, guys, I did. I got into a controversy in matrimony.com when I did one campaign. So, you know, right, I was working as a product manager for matrimony.com right after MBA. So, I mean, I didn't have anything very crazy. I did this campaign about elite matrimony. Hanji, we have worked in matrimony.com also. So, anyways, matrimony.com, we did this campaign for elite matrimony. It's for all the rich people, okay? Only the big class people, all the IAS officers, yeah, for people who have 10 crores and above, yeah, for ministers, actors. इनके लिए जो matrimony है is called elite matrimony, right? So what happened is I did this campaign or an ad saying, "Are you elite enough to join the league?" Right? Something like that I put, and then some lawyer or some supposedly high class person says, "Hey, what you're telling me? Are you telling me that I am not elite enough for you?" Blah blah blah. She went on crazy on Twitter, right? And I actually got shouted at by my boss. But yeah, that's also possible, right? Where maybe something that you write might slowly turn against you. So you have to be very very careful with the content that you put, right? You can't always go crazy with the content and expect that people will appreciate it. So yeah, that ways, right? So guys, just 1 second, someone's come at the door. Hold on 1 second. All right, so yeah, so like I said, guys, when the ad was done, you will always find, right, something or the other, but it's always going to happen that some ad offended someone. So yours is to make sure that your ad doesn't offend most of the people. Some people getting offended is okay, right? Any publicity is good publicity for the brand. So yeah, coming back, content is something very big. So if you are looking at um, um, digital marketing or marketing in itself, please make sure you are acing your content skills also, right? How I aced my content skills was by writing on Twitter, because there is so much less space. Now Twitter has become useless by having 250 characters, but I think yeah, but back in the days it had only 125 characters, because and that made sure that unless you're really really super cool, right, or if you're really experienced, only you can write short content, right? If you have to make something very brief, it takes you a lot of time, but that helps you write these one liners, play with words, a lot of such things, right? So please make sure you hone your skills eventually over the period of 2 years if you are looking at marketing, because content, whether it be an emailer, whether it be an SMS, a WhatsApp message, or a video content, you can't write tons and tons of lectures, right? You can't write like a blog everywhere, right? You need to capture the audience attention, which, if you know, is 10 seconds on social media, right? 10 seconds is the 10, yeah, 5 seconds is what a person will give you on social media on your particular ad, sometimes even lesser. This is the average I'm talking about, right? So you need to be able to garner the attention with short content. That's why you see these platforms like what is it called here, Moj, right? What are the other platforms? The thing that got banned in India, the Chinese one. यार भूल जाता हूँ मैं ये सब कुछ. TikTok, correct. Right, all these short videos, it works, and reels, right? Instagram reels, all of these things work because people have a very less attention span, right? So what you need to do is also uh, um, um, make sure that you hone these skills in terms of creating content which is very very what do you say, intuitive, and as well as interesting to people, so that they are able to engage with you. Okay. Yes, it is very exciting, but trust me, guys, I'm first of all having a headache now itself at 9 o'clock, because I have to write such crazy things and all for some clients, and I myself sometimes get a writer's block or a creative block is what we call it, right? So it is difficult because you can't just write any random trash, right? um, um, right? So you have to make sure that, one, yes, the target audience is the correct one. At the second time, um, what happened? Caught me. I didn't understand, Shivnesh, what you said by caught me, but yeah, a creative block is what you sometimes have, right? And simply said, you can't write any content, right? A lot of research goes into it, which means a lot of planning has to be there before you execute a campaign. If a campaign looks exciting to you, trust me, guys, a lot of people have put a day's effort or a night's effort to make sure that that content is coming out that way, right? Multiple edits and entries go out, so things like that. I hope this part is clear to you, right? The other thing that you have to understand is content can also be in the form of industry reports, white papers. Please understand, it is not always um, only ads that people see, right? Ads देखेंगे तो सब लोग, people have this impression that ad means it's a lie, right? People शुम्मा marketing के लिए कुछ भी लिखते हैं. So what is important is today industry papers, industry white papers, which is basically marketing content only, guys. It is just made to look very intelligent and very very intuitive and with a lot of stats and things. I mean, of course, the data will be true in that, but that's also another version by which you grab the attention of certain people, right? For example, in a B2B, if you're working business to business, right? Placement reports, 100% fabricated shit, right? I'm sorry to say that, but itna bullshit ek saath, most of the times the placement packages and all that, yeah, they somehow play around with the numbers a lot before they put it up, right? So yeah, but there are obviously the bigger colleges will obviously not do that because they have the pedigree to back up their claims, right? But most often than ever, if you see a lot of these marketing content, it works with people, right? If you remember, there used to be a college called as IIPM, right? Indian Institute of Planning and Management. Arindam Chaudhary. I used to be in 10th or something, and the tagline was "Dare to think beyond the IIMs." Dare to think beyond the IIMs बोल के दो तीन मेरे friends जाके join किए, right? And well, it's a mess, and there is no more college. There is no accreditation. Basically, the degree is of no use anymore, right? So yeah, that is what it does. So yes, sometimes it can be a scam, right? Sometimes you twist facts. Sometimes you bend certain things so that people understand it a certain way. But you can obviously go to the legal. If they come with a legal backing, you can obviously say, "I never meant," or maybe this is also a way it can be interpreted. But over the years, what has happened is a lot more stricter rules have happened with respect to cyber crime and cyber laws in India, and also with advertising materials, so that if you do something which is ambiguous or which confuses the customer, they can go to consumer court and really screw your happiness. And it has happened, guys. Brands have ended up paying a lot of money to people because of such scams, right? So yeah, in case a campaign doesn't work, do we do things on the pilot? Sorry, what is it? Pilot based trial. So what I do sometimes is, yeah, I run 2, 3 campaigns with every client in the beginning. It's to understand the pulse of the audience, and then I sort of go back and then understand what their behavior is, and then do ads. And if a campaign doesn't work, nothing, you move on, right? Just like if you give an attempt in cat and you don't get through, obviously next time you'll try again, right? You'll try something different. Um, why do they sometimes create ads which end up alienating the target audience? Example, last year's that Gillette ad, it ended up losing more customers and getting more. Well, see, you can't expect that I can hit the right button every time, right? Sometimes what you thought would work. I'll give you an example, guys. Friends. How many of you see the TV series called Friends? Friends TV series. Hmm. Good. How many of you like it? All of us like it, right? And I personally, I think I watched it some 50, 60 times, right? um, the whole thing, right? Even now when we have dinners, we generally have that because it's a really good stress buster. But the problem was when it was done on a trial basis or piloted, right? They actually, all the TV channels, they do a pilot with a particular show, right? And they did a pilot with Friends, and what happened is the results came out that Friends suck, and if people continue to air it on a particular channel, that show will go to hell. That was what the outcome was, right? But imagine what happened. Piloting means running the first the first one episode they will run, and they will see what is the feedback from people, right? They'll see how many people are sticking or watching it throughout half an hour, or how many people are dropping off after 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So basis the first pilot, what happened is, um, people saw that it was not at all a great thing. But you imagine if they had stopped basis the first campaign, if they had stopped publishing that particular TV series, would you have a 10 series, TV series, or 10 episode or 10 seasons TV series called as Friends? No, right? Yeah, I'm losing words, man. I don't even know what's happening, right? Anyway, so What I'm trying to say is, guys, sometimes you think things work, your research might say that, but because it is a controlled audience, when it goes out, it is possible that the biggest brands also create campaigns which sometimes backfire, right? Coca-Cola once did this. Coca-Cola had once put a campaign where they showed three pictures, right? I'm sure most of you have seen this and studied this as a case and all that, where a man is lying tired, he's lying down tired um, on the sand. Then the next picture shows that he's drinking Coca-Cola, and the next picture shows that he's standing up strong and he's feeling very energized, right? This is the flow of this one, and they ran that ad everywhere. It really worked, and then they took this ad and ran it in Dubai or Saudi, if I'm not wrong, right? And it backfired like crazy because the Arabs read things from right to left, not from left to right. So what happened is they saw a man who's energized, drank Coca-Cola, and fell down and became tired, right? So it backfired. A lot of cans of Coke were not able to sell at that point. Bad PR for that particular brand and all that, right? So it is possible that the best of the ads also sometimes, even after all of these things, um, Tanish's recent ad, yeah, I heard a lot of controversy about it. I think I saw it and I didn't think it was that bad, but yeah, it created a lot of furor among people. But I personally don't think it is such a bad thing. But again, right? So I don't know about Big Bang Theory. I'm just telling about a research that we studied about this one, right? So about friends. Okay. So the next thing to understand, like I told you, is brand management. What does it mean? Brand management means everything to do with the brand, including the goodwill or the impression that people have about the brand. Please understand, guys, when people buy stock market, when you buy stocks also, it depends on how good they think the company is. If they have a bad reputation of a brand, right, they will never buy it. Like, for example, it was known at one point of time that people never invested in stocks of Apple as much as they invested in stocks of Google, because Apple, though it was a premium company, people always thought Apple was a volatile brand. Crazy guy, Steve Jobs will do whatever he feels like. So people never knew what to expect. While the consumers were excited about all the products he released, right? The problem was investors were not very keen on company like Apple, whereas they were happy with companies like Google and Microsoft, which is not as crazy, right? They were nice, steadily, they grew one after the other. They had every quarter they had something or the other coming up, but not anything crazy or exciting. But at the same time, they were growing steadily, right? So customer service, brand goodwill, all of these things are very, very important. The strong impression that you create, that is exactly the reason why your logo also have to be a combination of certain colors, right? Basis the kind of products that you're selling. For example, you can't be selling an exciting product and then put your color as dark brown or maybe light mm, light gray or something, right? That does not convey the fact that your company is a very exciting company, right? So all of these things are very, very important. At the same time, when you write out your product benefits, right, it all reflects back to your brand, right? So today a lot of products in the market, they are called as category leaders, right? Why? Because the brand is the resonance of that product. For example, Amul butter. Amul is what people resonate with butter, right? Maggie. People don't say let's have some noodles, right? People say let's have Maggie. Blades, shaving blades, Gillette, right? So all of the in cream, Xerox, Jeep, yes, all of these brands, right? They become category leaders because that is the kind of brand management that has happened in those early days, right? So I hope you guys understand what brand management means. Anything to do which increases the goodwill and therefore the sellability of that particular brand, not that particular product, right? So people come to you not because they love your product, but because they love your brand, right? Nike can mostly get away with any sort of crazy cool styles that they bring in because they, at the end of the day, are Nike. Are you able to understand? Similarly, when I talk about digital marketing, right? Um, this, like I told you, when I was teaching 2 years ago, this was a part of marketing, but today it is everything about it, right? Now, what does digital marketing contain? Like I told you, it contains content, right? It contains social media, which means the organic posts. Organic post means the one that you put up on your profile or on your business page without paying it or without promoting it, right? Organic post that you put up and the paid post that you put up, meaning you pay social media to promote the content that you are sharing so that more people can see it. Correct? Then there is SEO, search engine optimization, meaning you make sure that you optimize your content in such a way that when people search for particular keywords or particular things on Google, your website or your details show up, right? When you search for best cat coaching centers in Tambaram, right? Whoever has placed an ad or whoever has done the proper SEO will obviously have his results come up on top. Clear? So that is how SEO works. SEO's paid version is search engine marketing, right? Which is SEM. Okay. The next thing is video content. It is very, very important to have video content, especially short video content, because people don't have to spend time reading. It is mostly passive. You're just seeing it and you're absorbing most of the content without having to spend your brain's knowledge or actively involve your brain in reading it, right? Then mobile tablet, you can keep it aside because mobile, obviously, guys, is the medium on which most of the content or most of the ads or most of the brands are being accessed today, either via their apps or via some form of medium, all of that, right? So mobile and tablet somewhere I think is faded. I don't see a lot of usage of tablet, but mobile phones, obviously mobile devices which help you access content on the move, it's the best form of targeted content that can reach your people, right? And then ROI, right? ROI is important because what happened in digital marketing is data started getting captured, which means you had more certainty, you had more information about what was happening to your particular campaign, which was not there if you had done a newspaper ad, or if you run a leaflet campaign, or if you put up a TV ad. The data was not strong enough and it was not holistic. Meaning, today, if I put an ad on social media, I know that from social media who went to my website, and I can actually take all my website users, link it back to my Facebook via Facebook Pixel, and then show ads back to them. That's why after you visit MMT or Make My Trip ka page, what Facebook does is everybody who went to the payment page and did not make the payment will now be shown an ad saying, "Oh my God, what happened? Why didn't you make the payment?" So then you're like, "Oh my God, is Facebook stalking me?" Of course they are, yeah. What did you expect? Right? So ROI became greater when the data-based marketing started happening. Is it clear? Right? And SEM, like I told you, is the sister of SEO, right? It's a paid version. And pay per click is basically the Google ads, right? Every time you click on a particular website, or you click on an ad and reach a particular website or a particular intended action, you have to pay for it, right? So that is the concept on which majorly digital marketing works. There's a lot more things that is there, guys. But since we're covering only the important aspects or the bird's eye view at the moment, this should be good enough. There are some questions that have come in. Why sometimes ad link comes on YouTube while searching for anything? Because YouTube also lets you do an ad here. When you're searching for something, an ad comes because somebody has paid money for it. Some client of mine. Yes, Shivanesh, what you yes, when you speak about it, your phone's mic is automatically on, so it picks up content. Yes. Sure. So let me look at two things, right? ROI basically means return on investment, right? How much am I spending on my ads? And therefore, how much am I able to really retrieve in terms of, because back in the days, if people did an ad, they can obviously say, see, so many people came, which means that they saw the ad and that's why they came in. But it could be because of some other reason also, right? If two campaigns are running, which one do you think will do well? Which one do you think was the reason for why you got a lift in sales? What happened with digital marketing is, because there is data basis every campaign, what happened is people were now able to understand which campaign did well and which campaign did not do well, right? So you know where to put your money, where to put your effort, and where to what kind of content people are responding to. Clear? And pay per click is basically every time you do a Google ad, that means when a search, or not even a Google ad, right? Every time, even if you do a Facebook ad, what do? You set the objective as every time a person clicks on that particular icon or people click on that particular search results, I will charge you. So let me say I'm Google, and sorry, Google is there and I am the brand, let's say Amazon, right? If people search for, let's say, black jackets, right? Black jackets, buy online. And for that keyword, if Amazon pops up and if you click on that link, you don't have to buy anything. If you just click on that search results page link, Amazon will get charged if their objective of the ad is to pay for every click. The other objective that you can say is pay for every 1,000 impressions, or CPM, cost per thousand, or cost per mil, or cost per 1,000 impressions, where what happens, even if they don't click on your ad, just for featuring and showing your ad on the search results page also, you have to pay for it, right? So you can choose what you want to pay for, but for each of them the cost will be different. Why? Because if someone clicks, there is a greater chance that he will make the purchase. So higher the chance of engagement with the brand, the higher the amount the brand has to pay for every click or for every impression. Is it clear? Any other question, guys? You can share in all your questions as I move to the next slide, where we talk about the important thing. Guys, please remember, digital marketing is crazy and it is good and it is lucrative, provided you know how to read the data behind it, right? If not, like I told you, you can become a great content writer or you can become a great graphics designer. But if you don't look at the analytics on different medium and understand what is happening, or what is the required effort that I have to put, or what is the people responding to, if you do that, if you don't do that, then there's no point in you becoming a digital marketer, right? So if you ask me, analytics is the biggest driver, and that is why they need more and more data. People are greedy for data today because more data means more analytics. More analytics means more certainty, and more certainty means more ROI. Clear? Anupam has a question. How unethical is digital marketing in terms of privacy concerns? Or you are asking my opinion or generally? There's no general answer for this, Anupam. If you're asking my opinion, I don't even think ethics is something I believe in. So how does it matter? I don't, I'm sorry, guys, I'm in this profession, or the kind of profession where ethics will never ever be an integral part of my life. So, like I told you in the beginning, because I teach economics, I don't have a heart. Because I don't have a heart, I don't believe in ethical and unethical, right? See, please understand, I am in this crossroads where all the digital marketing that I am doing is also affecting me in some way, right? I don't know whether I should support data privacy or not, because one is my bread and butter and the other is, I don't know, whatever, right? So between that, I think it's okay. There's some way, if I have to go and buy a ticket tomorrow and make my trip, I have to apply a lot of different filters and make sure that I buy it in the first go. It's a search results ke basis when they won't increase the price, right? Um, so unethical or not ethical, guys, we are in the business. We are doing business. Masters of business administration. Business mean there is no ethics. Well, please understand. To teach ethics, there is one subject in business called business ethics. Okay, and I never aced it for obvious reasons, right? Because all the rubbish that they keep telling, the ye karna chahiye, wo karna chahiye, you think about others. No, I don't think about too much about others, guys, right? So I'm sorry, it's a very personal opinion. I'm not saying you should not be like that, but I believe in legal and illegal. I believe in wrong and right. But like I said, there's also subjective, right? My definitions of wrong and right can be very, very different, right? So I don't know. Is it unethical? Maybe it is. Harsh, with GDPR and other laws coming, there are certain loopholes in those laws which help you. See, guys, it's very simple. Just because you have a law against it does not mean people will make sure it is never done, right? If someone builds a 10 feet wall, another person will build a 11 feet wall, a 11 feet ladder. If you build a 11 feet wall, I will build a 12 feet ladder, right? Laws are made so that loopholes can be found. Clear? Um, Ketan is a question, sir. This might be too specific, but does an agency's choice of pay-per-click or pay-per-impression affect with the demographic? Because older people hardly pay attention to the entire web page, so they how see that's what I'm saying, right? So when you do an ad, you need to know who are your consumers, what are the platforms they are most active and they engage on, and you do your ads basis that. Why would you do an ad to older people if you know that they don't behave the kind of way that you want them to? You will select your target audience, right? And if you see there is a platform in which they engage more, you will do your ads accordingly. Simple, right? Um, okay, I'm going to teach the second part of that in the next session because we're running short of time, right? Any questions that you guys have before I take you quickly through that particular ad platform? I have to see. Hold on, guys. I'll have to open Facebook. So yeah, I don't have a Facebook account, guys, right? Because I do too much ads. I realize that um, it's just an ads platform and people are just putting out more and more data there. So I have a Facebook business page though, right? I'm going to go and check if I can. Are you guys able to see my screen? You're going to get access to confidential data. Oh my God. You guys have to pay me for this. Hold on. So this is what the Facebook ad platform looks like, guys, just in case you're. So I'm going to see my ads from November to December 31st update. Okay. I'm going to show you these two ads of what worked, what did not work, right? If you see, this is the campaign platform, right? This is the ads campaign platform of Facebook. Some of you would have seen this, where it's I have spent sort of 1,400 rupees daily, right? And what was the objective of my campaign? I wanted to get leads from people who wanted to visit this particular resort in Coorg. I got 63 leads from them, right? How many people did it reach? 15,992, and impressions was 23,000. Why is impressions more than reach? Because maybe the same person saw my ad more than once, right? And if you see the cost per every time, the cost per message that I got or the incoming lead that I got was 100 rupees. Are you able to see this? Yeah, I'll show you the ad also, guys. Don't worry. I'll show you the ad. Right here, I got 73 leads and the per cost was only 41 rupees. Right? Similarly, I'd run an ad, but this ad did not do well. It was 127 only. Clear? You see how the ads platform works? So what is your bid strategy? What are you looking for low cost, or are you saying the cost anything jo bhi hai cost is okay, but why don't you get me more leads? Cost per result means har lead ke liye how much money did I spend? Generally, it is the total amount of money we have. This is only daily, right? So how many ever days I ran the campaign, that many number of days into 1461. That is the total cost. Now that total cost divided by 63, right? Kitne leads aaye hain? Total cost divided by 63 is cost per lead or cost per result. Clear? I'll show you the ad. Hold on. It's a small, guys. I'll have to, yeah. This is one ad, right? This is one ad that did well. So on different platforms, how does it look? It will show you, right? Um, on Instagram, how does it look? Right? On Facebook, how does it look? Oh, this is Instagram, sorry. This is Facebook. This is Facebook news feed. So you can do ads on a news feed. You can do it inside stories. You can do it inside Messenger. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, right? So this is where you set up all the ads. This is where you write the content, you put the picture, right? See, all content, primary text, all of these things you can set up, right? And also what I'll show you is how do you do the targeting. Now, who have I targeted for this ad? I'm saying the start date of the campaign should be from this date to this date. I can set the time also, right? And the audience, देखो, The audience is of age 35 to 50, right? Bangalore, Hyderabad, two places I've taken. And what should I exclude? So these people are not running a very high class resort. It's a budget resort, right? Which is why people who are interested in luxury travel, luxury resorts, luxury holidays, five-star properties, or who prefer high value goods like iPhone, I exclude all of them, right? And therefore I know that if I have people like that, they'll obviously want to go only to five-star hotels, right? So I've excluded these people so that I don't show the ad to unwanted people and simply waste my money, right? And what did I try to match? People who are interested in adventure travel, holidays, outdoor recreation, ecotourism, parents with preschoolers, all of these things. Shakti asks, why have you excluded youngsters from target audience? यार उनके पास पैसे नहीं रहते हैं. They'll फालतू का ask for 100 discounts and all that. That's why. Utkarsh, you can't digital marketing you can't do for free. You have to have an ad account and you have to spend money, यार. Free में कैसे करते हैं? Digital marketing you can do for free. मतलब you can offer that service. But if you as a brand, if you have to do paid marketing, you have to spend money. You have to add your credit card to it. Cool. I hope we have had a brief understanding. We will take you through the details in the next session also, guys, because we will look at the remaining aspects. I've just taken you to the brief. So the next session is part 2 of the same session, where we look at all aspects of marketing, retail, all of those. And I'll show you more and more examples of brands across the country and abroad, what sort of ads they're doing, what sort of marketing is being done. Is marketing only ads, sir? या फिर कुछ और भी है, right? So I'll show you all of those things. So if there's any questions right now, you guys can ask me, or else we will sort of wind the session for now. I don't want you guys again getting bored. I end up taking more time every single time. So if you have questions, please do ask now with respect to marketing in itself. Okay, presuming there is no questions, but if you have any, like I said, guys, I'm open on LinkedIn. You guys can please reach out to me and ask all the questions that you want. And yeah, I'll be happy to help you guys out, right? So this is part 1 of digital marketing, guys. We will see more, right? So thank you so much for your time. I hope you're clear with what marketing involves, at least one aspect. Don't see digital marketing as something separate, because every part of marketing and other lines of business use technology, right? Um, um, yes, the basis of payment is for leads, Harsh, for because the campaign ka objective is to get leads, right? So that's what it is for. So I hope you understood some idea that you have got. Please make sure you read more, take some certificate courses also. Your MBA might not be enough, right? And sometimes you need to put up that extra amount of work in terms of understanding how these technical skills are developed, right? And like I told you, also practice writing good content, right? If you are in any form of marketing, sorry, or any form of management, communication is very, very important. You will see people giving you that kind of respect when your communication standards are very high. This does not mean just good English, which means I want you to have good English, but also be able to write things in such a way that you are able to get the other person to not say a no to you. All right. So I hope this part is clear. I'll see you back tomorrow for part 2 of digital marketing and marketing in itself. And you take care and have a great evening. LinkedIn profile for people, it is Bibin George Verghese, right? So you guys can reach out to me on that. And yeah, you will see it is the cover picture is of a class that I've taken for CL Tambaram. It's really amazing back in the days where there was over 250 students that were there, right? So there's a class cover picture is there, and there is a very funny guy in the profile picture as well. So yeah, that is me. So you can add me, you can ask your questions, and I'd love to answer. All right. You take care, guys, and have a great evening.